Let's do this. Hello, all my party people. Welcome back to my channel. Now, this is the start of the summer, and I figured I'd start with a little hot memoir here. Now, for those of you that have been around, like growing up in the 90s and listened to 1990s hip-hop, early 2000, then you will know this lady here. Her name is Karrine Steffans. She was that video model that slept with all the rappers and wrote a tell-all book about it. And this is the tell-all book. Now, she actually wrote multiple books. This is the one that I read, and this one right here, the Vixen Diaries, is a follow-up novel that she wrote about it. And she definitely had an interesting time. Now, Karrine Steffans, who is a very beautiful woman, and I'm just sad that she had such a horrific experience, but I think she learned a lot from it. So pretty much Karrine Steffans grew up in St. Thomas. That's the U.S. Virgin Islands that I have been fortunate enough to be able to go to. Very beautiful. Anyway, so she grew up in St. Thomas, and then she moved to Florida with her mother and siblings around like age 10 years old. And she grew up with a very tumultuous, abusive relationship with her mother. Her mom was basically one of those women that seeked validation from men and slept around. And so that is what she learned from her. And her mother was actually very jealous of Karrine, so they got into it a whole lot, which caused her to leave home at an early age. And when she was living with one of her boyfriends, the boyfriend's mother actually turned her on to stripping as her hustle to make a living. And she was really good at it, which is why she met all of those sports stars and rappers, and how she got into these pay-for-play type thing. Now, from the beginning, she was always striving to be a side chick, okay? You pay me a few dollars, I'm on the side waiting in the wings. And that was just what she did. No shame in her game, okay? Now, when she was in the strip club, she hooked up with this OG rapper. I didn't even know who he was, but anyway, he was really abusive and basically taught her to make amends doing certain sexual favors, which she became very good at. I'm not gonna name any names. You know what? She names names. I'm gonna name some names. Okay, so she hooked up with Ice-T. He was like one of those people from the beginning. This is pre-Law and Order and pre-Coco, okay? And I had an issue with the fact that you're gonna go from Ice-T to Ja Rule. Come on now, like somehow to me that does not equate. Ice-T to Ja Rule, but I'm gonna let her make it on that one, okay? But Ja Rule was actually the person that gave her the little pet name Superhead. Now, she spoke about some guy named Papa. I don't know who he is. I would love to know. She also spoke about Ray J being like one of the loves of her life in her little, you know, misguided idea of what love was. She also talked about P. Diddy insinuating that Diddy Daddy, whatever he's calling himself these days, that he made like a little man. She also talked about Shaq, you know, for his size, height, all that stuff. You know, he's kind of on par with everybody else, you know what I'm saying? So nothing special there. But there was a lot of powerful people on this list I was very surprised at. But you know, she's one of those misguided girls that basically wanted to be with a powerful man. And in this case, powerful men meant money, meant fame, all of those things. She saw the girls on the screen and she wanted to be one of them. So she actually developed a reputation for sleeping around and being that go-to girl girl prior to even getting into video modeling. So when she got into those video modeling, then she was just a wild girl doing anything she can to get anybody's attention, and she succeeded quite often. She was basically the girl on set that if everybody else wasn't gonna do it, then she was. So that did not serve her well. So just a really sad story of someone that was highly misguided from the beginning. But I really did enjoy this book. I learned a lot. I remember hearing about this girl, but I didn't really know too many details. You know, I was a youngin', but I was definitely still around at the time. But I learned a lot about the video model industry. It's actually a lot more regulated, if you want to call it, as far as with the models. They're not just some girl that just gets picked up on the street to go, you know, model in a bathing suit in a video. There's actually some structure to it, and actually a lot of the models, they have a code of conduct of don't mess with the talent. Now obviously Karrine was not on board with that, but I do like how ultimately she did get her act together and realize that she was being used and abused by all of this men. Unfortunately, it took having a horrible reputation, getting involved in drugs and alcohol and whatnot in order for her to see that. But in the end, it made her stronger. She's a better mother, and she has a lot more pride and self-respect. And she definitely learned that when crap hits the fan and you have absolutely nothing after hanging around with all these people that have come to fame while you got to know them, and then you don't have a pot to piss in and nobody gives you a dime, she realized she can only count on herself. But really good book. I enjoyed this book. Now I kind of just skimmed through this book a little bit, but I did realize that she hooked up with Bill Maher. Why? I have no idea, but hey, you know, he actually wanted a legit relationship with her. And she also spoke a bit about Tyra Banks, who is basically a female chauvinist. So she's okay with all the men spilling the beans and talking about their sexual exploits and walking around half naked herself, but then she condemned Karrine for pretty much doing the same thing. So, but you know what? I have heard some stuff about Tyra. Anyway, but let me know if any of y'all heard anything about these books, and if you were around in the 90s and heard some more stuff about this lady. She's definitely had an interesting life, but I'm glad that she has gotten it together. She's a beautiful soul that has a lot to tell, okay? So anyway, that's those books. So please like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you in the next video. Gotta go dancing with my outfit on. Bye, y'all.